Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mike Lowe here, and playing something we have never played or streamed at least before, and that is F1 2020. So I want to welcome you to the stream here for Tuesday. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's the time that I'm at least scheduled a couple days a week. I try to stick to a strict schedule to at least let some people know when we'll be checking in on various sport games, specifically playing like career mode style. So that's the first thing I can tell you about this stream. You see the title and you see the word "My Team." Some people may be freaking out, running away. My team in F1 2020 is different than my team in, say, NBA 2K or something like that. This is not Diamond Dynasty. This is not MUT. It is a very, very different experience. So just a little background on this game, or actually how I even got interested in wanting to play and stream this game. It was quite random. I am not a huge racing fan. I wouldn't even say I'm a racing fan at all before really the last kind of few weeks or so. And just randomly, my wife and I have just started, like many other people, just watching random stuff on Netflix, and we came across that Netflix series. I think it's just called Formula One or something like that. And it's just kind of one of those, almost like a Hard Knocks, where they just kind of follow some drivers around. And I was like, yeah, let's watch this. Like we always try to find. I'm a big sport fan, obviously. She's somewhat sport fan, and so sometimes we can find shows like QB1 and things like that that we'll agree on and we can really like. And anyway, we love that show. It's super, super good. And it's just kind of generated an interest for me in F1 racing, which I, again, 4 weeks ago, I had zero interest in. Nothing personal to F1. It's just something I just never gravitated towards. And so, looking up different games and kind of just researching some of the games that are out there. This game looks really, really popular. Of course, recently, Codemasters, who are the makers of this game, it sounds like, I don't know if it's been official, but it sounds like they've been acquired by Electronic Arts. Cue the response that you want to have there. But, that looks to be a thing that is happening. And, of course, there's a lot of other gaming news going on today. Very tempted to stream NCAA 14, of course, after the huge news that they're going to be re-releasing a future version of that series, EA College Football. At least it's going to be called EA Sports College Football. And huge news. Again, there's a Madden patch today. Of course, we got a lot of news with MLB The Show this week. But I said, you know what? I want to just do something different. I mean, we can still talk about that stuff, and maybe later on tonight we can even cut this stream up and cut this one shorter and get into some other things. But I wanted to showcase a game that probably not a lot of people are talking about today. And that's a game that I really, really enjoy here. It's the most recent version of F1. And it's also a game that we're kind of doing over at SimSports Gaming, a little bit of esport action starting this weekend. So I wanted to just kind of, again, walk us through and kind of show you some of the things here with this game. But from a game design standpoint, guys, this game is really pretty. We'll get into the graphic stuff later. I'm talking about, I do a little bit of like graphical layout and things at my job. So I'm talking about like menus like this. Like my wife always teases me. She's like, you get these sports games, but you don't always play them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of going through and, flipping through their menus and looking at their layout and just the interaction, even the music, that sort of thing. And this game like hits a lot, almost all. Maybe just to make it easy, I'll say they hit on all of the marks that I'm usually looking for a very well organized sports game, or really game in general. You don't have crazy SpongeBob SquarePants stuff running around like you do in Madden now. This is really clean. It's really sleek. It's very responsive. Again, like NHL 21, for instance, not a very responsive menu. It's a cluttery menu, truthfully. Most of the EA Sport games are very cluttery. I'm trying to think if there's one that's not cluttery. But this game is laid out really nice. I mean, at the top, it makes sense, right? You have very, very clear headings. Underneath those headings, you have things that would interest you or directly relate to those things. Not 700 menus that you have to get into for like settings or rosters or something, things like that. So real quick, before we kind of dive into the mode that we're going to be doing, which is going to be my team, where you basically start an F1 team from scratch, including your sponsors and all this other stuff. It's a really, really cool thing. We're gonna. I want to just give a quick plug to what we're doing, sort of in the multiplayer stratosphere here, esports, if you want to call it, on a very small scale. But we are starting a race league at SimSports Gaming, and you can go to simsportsgaming.com. You can look at that. You can add yourself to our Discord, and you can get yourself even added into this race here. We just got this thing going. You can see we have a scheduled race. We don't have a set time. Eventually these will, like it'll always be like Sunday at 8 p.m. or something like that, or Saturday morning. We don't. We just know we're going to do it this weekend. That's what we're trying to hammer down. But they're going to be short. You figure, you know, the races will be about 30 minutes or so. We can make them longer. You can make them full length, 2-hour race if you want. But we do have this one going on. And so, again, I wanted just to kind of give that a plug. I'm trying to remember how you can join this. Like, I think if I jump into the league thing here, again, we just put this out here, so we have only a few people who are popping in. So up there, you can pause the screen here. On the right-hand side, you can see our access code. I believe that's what you need to join into this league. It's open for now. Actually, I guess it is. Well, it's private. It's open now. You're seeing this password. But again, anybody watching these streams, we're trusting that you guys are you know, sim kind of players. If not, I mean, we'll kind of figure it out as we go. But I've put that information up on our Discord. It's no big secret or anything like that. But that's the code you need to get in. And again, you can click through and you can see the different settings we have. We're going pretty short races. You know, semi-realistic. I mean, you know, truthfully, if we had this kind of full-on simulation style, everyone would probably be getting disqualified for their cars breaking down and us running into each other and stuff like that. But you know, the idea is to kind of follow the real-life schedule. I think it'll show us. Well, yeah, I guess it would have on there. But the idea is just to follow like a real-life schedule. Or no, that's their maintenance. On our car maintenance track list. It must be in here. And so you can see these are all the different things. So you got to figure, like, we'll probably do like one per week. And then what's cool is, I believe, and again, this is new to us. I haven't played this game. But what I think you can do is throughout the week, you can do your different time trials. You can do practice, and you can basically set up your, what do you want to call it? Your pre-qualifying stuff. And if I go back here, that's kind of what it shows on one of these earlier menus. So on the left-hand screen there that I've highlighted, you can see in the middle qualifying and practice. So practice and qualifying are going on right now. You could jump in and start on that as far as I know. Again, it's a little bit new, this game and how it all flows. So again, that's going on. Super, super excited. But this game's really cool, guys. I'm not good at it. I can tell you that right now. Of course, because I'm a dum-dum, I immediately jumped into this game and like, oh, there's like this realistic mode. And again, I don't have a wheel or anything, right? So it's like this ultra realistic mode, and it's like, would you like to activate? And you can't turn it off, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, of course, let's go. Guys, it took me like 3 days to complete a lap, not a race or to like win a race, to complete a lap. It was hard to say the least. I mean, it was very hard. So the settings are more kind of mid-grade right now. What's cool is if you want, it's kind of like how the PGA the golf game is. They're like minimum thresholds. So like you can make it harder if you want. If you're finding like I'm dominating this league, this is getting boring, well, make it a little bit harder and then you can. And collectively, we'll probably move that league up and, you know, be a little bit more difficult as we go here. So I feel like I'm a Nike commercial today. Look at this. I got my Nike shorts. I have a Nike little track jacket on, my Nike water bottle. It's ridiculous. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? Let me pull up the YouTube chat here. Let's see what is going on. But yeah, totally different game today. What the heck? Turn down my volume here. Cool. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So the My Team feature, again, it's very similar to like the driver career, but the difference with the driver career, I keep deleting this and it keeps coming back. The driver career, it's just that you're the driver. It's kind of almost like be a pro mode. Like you don't really do any like the team building stuff, and I mean like team building as in like you're working on the car, you're signing sponsorships and stuff like this. The My Team one does. So it's weird because these titles, immediately I see My Team, or I see people talking on Twitter about like My Team, and I'm like, oh, you know, makes me want to cringe a little bit. But this My Team is very, very different in this game, and so that's where we're going to start. But we are going to start by creating basically everything. And I have a few things just kind of laid out. If you guys want me to change the look of things, of course, in the beginning, I don't have a ton of stuff. I don't have any like really like cool suits unlocked or anything like that, or you know, any different cars unlocked. So it's kind of straightforward. But here, of course, it's letting me, you know, select the character that I've already made, which doesn't really look much like me. But or you can create a new one, of course. We're just going to go with my dude.
Let's get this team up and running. The first thing we need to do is register a team name and bring in some important partners.
Okay, we're going to pick a team name.
Enter a team name.
Oh, let's go with SSG Lowe Racing. How about? Hey, look at that. It's already there. Oops. There we go.
Now, let's choose our primary sponsor.
So here, it's gonna, now again, just from a design standpoint, it's kind of hard to know right where to go here, but we're gonna click down to the dollar sign.
Offer a larger signing bonus up front. Some offer more weekly income. The better we perform, the more our level will go up as the team gains more acclaim. Doing this will increase the income from our sponsors.
So you're looking at three things, and that's kind of what that Carl guy just said, right? You're gonna get let's start with the weekly income. That's pretty straightforward. Weekly incomes, right? Different sponsorships are gonna give you different weekly payouts. That's pretty straightforward. You're also gonna get a different signing bonus. That, of course, you get up front. And so you see there's a little bit of give and take. You'll have like these two here, right? They have the exact same signing bonus, but this one, you get more weekly income. However, you get less of a goal bonus. So the difference between a signing bonus, which is what you get right when you start, to a goal bonus, the goal bonus you get when you meet the end of the season goal. So whatever goal you set for yourself, or I'm sorry, they set for you. You can see above there, they want us to finish 10 or better in the Constructors Championship. Well, that's probably not going to happen, right? Well, I guess it could. There's only 11. We're the 11th team, so it just depends how confident you are. But as you go up and down, you're going to see these different ones here. These are all fictional sponsors, which I actually think is kind of cool. But I can tell you, I'm going to go with the biggest signing bonus we can get right now because we need some cash, even with the weekly incomes. We can get some weekly incomes, but I think right up front, we have some huge expenses right off the bat, right? And so we're going to go with Pacifico. Plus, I just think it's a cool logo that you can't see because my camera's blocking it.
Going anywhere fast without a power unit. So let's sign one of those now.
And so one of the reasons why I want to get this big signing bonus is so that
the performance and durability, the better. But be careful about spending all our cash. We're going to have people and facilities to invest in as well. Power unit suppliers will also provide upgrades throughout the season at no extra cost.
So again, a little bit of give and take here, right? They're having you make a decision. Of course, they kind of get better as you go left to right. And when you kind of look at a cost balance, I mean, you get a huge upgrade here, right? And you're only looking at about $700,000 difference. Here, you don't get much of an upgrade at all. So like the first one I would eliminate is Renault, actually, because you're spending more money to get just a very insignificant upgrade, very, very small upgrade. And so it's kind of like, do we go Honda, Mercedes, or do we just go all out and do Ferrari, right? And that's kind of what I've narrowed it down to. Same thing here. You're talking 700,000 for a small increase. So I would probably either do like Honda or Mercedes. Yeah, boy, the durability is the big difference here, and it's just a matter of, do we want to save $1 million for our team to use elsewhere? Or do we say, well, geez, one of the most important parts is getting a decent engine in the car? So I don't know. I'll pause to see if anybody in the chat has a recommendation. But I'm kind of between going Honda or Mercedes. I'm going to go Mercedes.
A team without a second driver. Let's sign a teammate.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to be doing is signing. You can always go back and change these things too. So like if you realize like, ooh, we need less signing bonus, let's do something different.
Here are the drivers interested in joining our team. Look at their stats and pick someone you think can get us good results, as long as we can afford them. Oh, and we renew contracts every few races, so you'll have plenty of chances to sign someone else should the need arise.
So same thing, I'm kind of just looking at overall ratings. But I can tell you, the guy that I usually sign is... I think it's this guy usually, this Dorian Bocalaci. I'm going to butcher these names, sorry. I think that's him. So again, if you look at ratings and you kind of look, I mean, these guys are the same rating. Of course, they have different micro ratings, I guess. But, 50% increase in price. So that makes sense. And if you go up to, you're doubling the price, but only getting a few more ratings. So he's the kind of guy that I looked at earlier that I said, let's go with Dorian here. I'm good with that because he is the highest rated $1 million guy. And that way we still get a decent engine. Because, like, watch, if I went to him...
Looks like we can't afford this power unit supplier and teammate. Let's go back into one
Right.
of those and sign someone cheaper. Or try and find a sponsor who pays more upfront to offset the cost.
Well, we can't offset the cost with our sponsor because we have the highest contributing signing bonus right now. And again, I don't want to downgrade our engine anything lower. So that's why we've had to go lower now.
Looks like we can afford this power unit supplier and teammate.
So we could do 1.5. But again, he's a 65. That's pretty decent. It's just, you know, do we just go crazy here and just spend all our... Yeah, why not? Let's just go for it. So let's get one of these guys. Maybe we could tap into the Asian market a little bit here. There aren't any... there's what just... Isn't there just like one Asian driver in F1 right now? Where do we go? Let's look at their differences here. This guy's a little bit quicker, a little bit more pace. This guy's got more awareness. I think I'm going to go with him. He's a little bit less experienced, but I'm okay with that. I like that awareness. Although that's the only thing. No, we got to go with this guy.
Looks like we can afford
Alright, this is our team.
unit supplier and teammate.
Nobuharu
Go ahead and
Matsushita.
be happy.
We're going to be pretty broke now. That's okay. Let me move my camera. It seems like this is a game where the camera might benefit from being... Well, actually, if we get into racing, never mind. Okay, let's confirm that. Let's jump in.
Will be running this season. We can add more sponsors to the car as we sign them throughout the year. And don't worry, we can edit our look at any time from HQ.
So you can see it's put our one sponsor already on there. I've already kind of created this car ahead of time. Again, it's kind of just thrown the sponsor on the side for now. And you can put the sponsor kind of all over the place, but look, these graphics just look sharp. And again, this is PS5, but this is a PS4 game. But these just look, this just looks really, really good. Just awesome detail on it. So we can go into edit. Of course, you can do the colors. We can't edit the sponsors here. Outside of this mode, you can. You can load up with all kinds of different sponsors. But for now, we just have the one. But I'm good at the colors, unless you guys want me to change them up. I just kind of threw these on there earlier, just to save a little time. I thought it looked kind of cool. Something a little different. Okay, so we're going to go with that car.
Now we need a badge for our team branding. Select an existing badge, edit it, or create one from scratch.
And so, again, I've made a badge here. It is what it is. You don't really get a ton to choose from. I mean, you do. They're just, you can't really do a lot of cool stuff. Like, you can pick different backgrounds, and you can pick different emblems and things like that. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I like that it's kind of all fictional. Of course, later on you can unlock some, even though some of these are kind of weird. But we're just going to kind of go with this. Again, I made this one earlier.
Last but not
Who
least,
cares?
we need to pick team colors for the rest of our branding. You'll see these colors throughout HQ.
Alright, and you'll see the stripes there, and I think, yeah, we can just copy the livery colors. Is that how you say it? Livery colors? Alright, that works for me.
Right, that's everything we need. You can go back and edit anything we've done so far, and we'll come back here at the start of each season. But if you're ready to go, hit advance to head to Team HQ, and we can start our push to the top of Formula 1.
Alright, cool. So here's where you'll start to really see this game just do some really cool stuff. Again, I love just the way they organize this career mode, again, called My Team, but more of a career mode here. So you can pick the race size. We're going to go just crazy and do all the races. I believe this is a 10-year thing. So we're going to go full races. And see, I can hit this very, very first thing I talked about earlier is you can turn on this, like, enable pro career. You can hit square on the bottom, and like that sets it on like the world's, like, it is like ultra realistic, and I was just wretchedly bad at it. So I can tell you that we're not gonna do that. But I would like to just kind of see what a full race almost feels like. I found. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a challenge here. Let's go. I think it's 40. Is that when it changes? Yeah. Let's just go to 40. That should be good. flashbacks are a cool option. I wish Madden had flashbacks. How many times have you go to throw a pass in Madden and you're like, yeah, throw to the guy on the left there, and you hit the button and it goes that way, and you realize you hit the wrong button, right? And it's an interception. You're like, no, like I understand, like sometimes I deserve interceptions, but that was just literally I hit the wrong button. Flashbacks undoes that sort of thing. It literally rewinds like whatever it is, 30 seconds or something, and allows you to replay that, which is a phenomenal feature. And at least to me, every game should have that at least as an option. Like I said, some people would abuse it, but I think it's a really cool thing. If people want to abuse it, they paid money for the game. Let them use that. But I love that. We're gonna leave most of this other stuff on. We're gonna go simulation damage, safety car on. Trying to make this as realistic as I can, but one where I can still actually drive the damn car. We'll keep that there. Manual race starts. That's good. So that looks good. Oops, and then, yeah. Assists, pretty much just going to go with medium on everything for now. I'm going to use auto shifting until I get a little bit better at the game. Yeah, but eventually this will be switching over to manual very, very quickly. I don't know if I've ever mentioned the story of I never drove a stick shift until I went to Portugal with a friend I used to work with, and we landed there, tried to rent a car. Long story short, they were like, oh, the car rental's like $600 for the week or something. And we're like, oh, whoa, okay, that was more than I thought. Like, yeah, you guys were looking at the stick shift one. I'm like, well, how much is that for the week instead of, $600 or $700? And they're like, oh, that one's like $50 for the week. I'm like, I'll learn how to drive a stick. So I learned how to drive a stick in Portugal, and it was ridiculous. That's not an easy country to learn how to drive a stick, by the way. There's a lot of hills. Even my parking garage that we were staying in, it was like difficult to get out of going up there and just trying not to roll backwards. It was quite the experience. So that tells you right away, by the way, how SSG Lowe Racing is probably going to do this season when their owner/driver can barely drive a stick shift. So it could be a bit disastrous here. But we are ready to start the session. Check this out.
Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team. We've been invited backstage to gain an exclusive insight into what could be one of the most exciting entries in the sport for many years. Now, we've seen a number of new teams enter the sport over the last decade, amongst their number Manor, Caterham, HRT, and of course Haas. And while some have proved to be successful, others have morphed into different teams, and some have disappeared completely. What marks this team out, though, as being something different is that its owner is also its driver. Now, there's a rich history of that in Formula One too. Sir Jack Brabham, John Surtees, Graham Hill, and Bruce McLaren all drove their own cars in the sport, but it has become increasingly rare in recent years. What's very special about this team, though, is that while the team itself is new to Formula One, so too is its driver and owner.
Whatever happens this season, you've already made the history books. Tell me, do you feel up to the mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula One team?
So this, of course, gives you, a few different options that you can choose from. We're just going to go with that one there.
Every team needs two drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates?
I mean, their skill set.
No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat?
Let's see. All these teams are much better. Williams is pretty bad. Let's, maybe we could beat them. Maybe.
How are you expecting the car to feel out on track?
I don't know. Sim data, sure. Like, sir, I don't know anything about cars.
Teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to catch up to them?
by it being a video game and the game probably letting me catch up. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have a better picture after the first race.
Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way?
I mean, we did buy an expensive engine, so.
And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of?
I mean, I just said we really like our engine, so.
Well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a wrap.
So a little interaction there, pretty cool. And of course, all those decisions like played a role, right? They actually impacted different things. And so here on the screen, again, you can click left or right. It'll take you from overview to facilities, but underneath that, you can do L2 and R2, and it will take you through to those kind of subcategories. So I can advance the calendar. I can also click over to activities here. And what this is here is basically an activity timeline, as it says, but we have a few days here before the car is revealed. And so we can do a few different things here. And all these take up different days, right? So like this is a 7-day one, and they all have pros and cons, you can see, right? So the department morale. If we keep working on power and durability, that's going to do this. This is a 5-day one that will give our second driver a lot of experience, which of course helps your team, because if you're unfamiliar, F1 takes the combined score of the two drivers, and that's your team score, right? So it is important that he does well. So this would raise our acclaim, just kind of giving you a little bit more of a following. I like this preseason merchandise sale, but we might do that one later because one of these 7-day ones might be important. We've already worked on the powertrain quite a bit, so let's do, let's schedule that. And then I think we can go down here. And we're going to try to raise some money. Yeah, so let's do that. And of course, we don't, that's all we have time for. There's a little 2-day break here. Okay, so did I do that right? Yeah, those are saved. Messages. He's just welcoming us to the thing there. This is just another email that's saying we're up and running. They're just kind of like, I don't think these really say a whole lot. There's probably some clues in there, but nothing too big. But again, really, really nice menus and stuff. I mean, it makes sense. It's easy to follow. Just playing this for one of the first times, I just think it's really, really well done. Really cool game. And again, coming from somebody who's never played much of, well, I've never played this game, but many racing games as well. I haven't played many racing games over the years, so pretty cool. And again, it's these little cut screens. You can see, your guy. Notice he's like actually in the little suit that we picked out there, the colors and everything. It's just like little detail stuff. Really, really cool. But these are little immersion things. Do they impact the game? This lady working at her desk, is she actually doing anything? Of course not. But she's got the team shirt on, the logos in the background, the colors. I mean, it's cool. It's these little interactive pieces that, truthfully, we've seen like EA Sports just move away from. The immersion stuff is so heavily focused now on things like the ultimate team modes, right? That's the immersion, and of course it's immersive. You're playing other people, but I've for years have said that bringing these two things together, bringing these solo modes, and bringing community into these solo modes to bring full immersion. So having these things with again an online league, for instance, right? So yeah, just lots of stuff. Again, you can go in here and you can set all of these different things in regards to where do you want to spend money and things like this, and just some really, really, really cool things that are going on with this. And so let's see, you can click into these. So again, if I wanted to spend some time on marketing, you can. Now we don't have the money. Right now it says insufficient funds. There's really not. I don't think we can do anything right now. But you can see just, I mean, the menus and stuff. It's really, really cool, right? They did a really nice job with all these. Yeah, we can't afford any. So we put all our money into our driver, into our engine right now. So we're going to have to save up. But again, we will get paid as the time moves forward and things like that. And it'll be pretty cool there. Let's see. That was it for facilities, research, and development. So you can, kind of similar to games like if you play like Civilization or Crusader Kings, almost like the skill tree that you see in like say NCAA football, or even like NBA 2K, like when you're the player maker, or in like the My NBA for PS5, where you're unlocking like your GM skills. This is what this is very similar to, right? So you can see just the way it looks. You can click on basically 4 main categories: powertrain, durability, chassis, and aerodynamics. And then when you go into there, of course, there's subcategories to these. Some of these are available to research, some of them are not. And so, you know, I could click on this and say, okay, and here's what I think is really cool. Unlike a lot of other games, is these can fail, which I think is a really cool feature. And like some of these have a little bit higher or lower. Like these are both, I believe, 40% fail rate. But there was one over here, I think that was slightly lower. Which we have that one already. Insufficient points. So yeah, this one's only a 30%, right? So you do want to roll the dice. And like my little test one, it actually failed. And so, you know, I wasted all that time and money in researching this particular thing here. So, yeah, just it's again really cool. So let's pick one of these, because I don't think the other ones even allow us to do anything. And by the way, you can see kind of where we're sitting. We put a lot of money into our engine already. And so you can see we actually have what they're considering the 4th best powertrain in Formula One right now. And so, you know, you have to make the decision. Do you keep building on what you have that's gone well? Or do you maybe work on some other things, even though there's a little bit of a bigger risk with some of these things, right? So what is this? Gearbox durability. All gearbox components will wear. I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's go with that one. So we're going to do this, since you can see it's going to upgrade by Monday the 16th. 40% chance failure, but it would be ready for that first race, it looks like. So let's try that. All right. Of course, here you can see the ones that are in progress. You see the history. Vehicle. So you have different power unit settings, right? And so they're not so much settings, but your actual, or actually, are these? Yeah, these are the different, or no. These are the different parts. So like I think like your energy store, you have two copies of this basically. You have 2 versions. So you can take one out, put a different one in, and of course you can kind of make adjustments to those different things. So again, like adjusting the electronics and things like that. Same thing with the gearbox. Like you're going to have one for practice, one for the events, which is what you're allotted. So again, just very cool things. And as you get deeper into this mode, of course, you'll start to realize or make some adjustments to some things. You have your tire allotment and your allocation here, which is again super interesting. You can kind of go we want to bring some harder tires to this race, because again, you can only get for practicing, you get 3 sets of tires there. For qualifying, you get 2 sets. And let's see, yeah, for the race over there, you can see you have 2 or 3 sets as well. And so some of these are locked in, but yeah, just really cool. And again, we'll just go with balance here to start. And I can't unlock any more sponsors just yet, but I think soon enough we will be able to. So there's the drivers. So again, you got some driver perks as they start to accrue acclaim. Pretty cool. You can look and see at the different drivers here that are the real life guys. I don't know if they have fictional guys in here, but There are definitely some free agents and whatnot. Yeah, there's some free agents. And of course you can, which is so great, you think of a game like NHL that doesn't let you like really adjust a ton. They've updated it recently in the last year or so where now you can do some stuff in your stadium and jersey, but like it's really hard to edit. This gives you full control. So I can go in and I can completely change everything about the car. It looks like I can even go in now and put the Pacifico sponsor, in some different places. So you can go in and put that where you'd want and so on. I'm just kind of showing you the different spots. I don't want to overdo it here, but so yeah, that's pretty cool. We should probably put it in a couple spots, right? Not the back wing. So we'll put one there. So just put a few more on there. It's pretty good. Let's jump in and do some racing. But first, I don't wonder, can I change the settings or am I like completely stuck on what I picked? I guess that would be one critique I have, is it would be nice to adjust. Because I don't always want to do full races. Because that's going to take a while. But yeah, it looks like you're kind of stuck with it. Although maybe when you get to the race, it'll let us. So let's advance, because what we're going to do, it's going to run our little things here. It's going to get us to the car reveal. We'll also get paid. So we have $300,000 up on the top there, you can see. Let's advance here. So we got paid. We also paid out. And they're going to do the car reveal. So let's do that. I think that's our only option here. That's a sharp car. I mean, I'd take it. All right, so we got 188,000 or so dollars. I don't even know what is up there. I don't know what that plus thing is, but so let's see. Do we have any like new messages or anything? Oh, we got our merchandise sale coming up too. I want to see if our research. Okay, that's still going. Can't get another sponsor yet. All right, so I guess we advance again. It's weird that like you can't save or anything. I'm just crazy. What's this? Okay, not there. I feel like this is just going to try to sell me something. Yeah, kinda. These are the unlockables you can get and so on. We don't care about that. Alright, let's just advance. Got paid again. Paid out a little bit. Hey, got paid again. So, it is race weekend. And again, when I'm checking for... Our card has changed colors? What I'm checking for is whether... Well, number one, can I actually save this? Can I adjust the race settings, and I don't see any of this stuff. How's our research doing? Still going. Okay. We're just going to go balanced. So let's see if we can just jump into a race here. What I'm hoping is we don't just jump into a race. I'm hoping I can adjust the settings, because I don't really want a 2-hour race. Options. What do we got? Hey, here we go. Sweet. Qualifying. Oh, just do one shot. Formation lap off. Race distance. Let's do 25%, or yeah, that should be good. Oops. All right, let's try it. Well, now if I just knew how to save. That's one thing I don't really quite know. But I really do like this game. It has a really wide range of options, so you can turn on certain visuals. They do a pretty good job with that. And again, just some nice little immersion stuff here. You even have your teammate across from you. So I can look around. This is funny. That's pretty cool. Can you skip all the practice? It's like I don't care to practice that much. I'm wondering. Crazy, like an hour by hour weather forecast. That's amazing. Talk about something that Madden should have, or MLB The Show, or something like hourly weather forecast. That would be amazing. So let's start this, but I'm hoping it can let us skip. I certainly don't need 4 30-minute practice sessions. I'm pretty sure you can just like back out of those. Nope. I'm gonna turn the camera off so I can race a little bit better.
Hey boss, this is Jeff. Just wanted to say thanks for trusting me as your race engineer. I won't let you down. The car is ready to go, but it's brand new of course, so there may be a few issues here and there. We'll be keeping a close eye on all the data.
So again, you can adjust all of these different things. You can set up your actual race strategy, and I like that the timer is actually in real time. So like this is all counting against my practice time. And we're not going to mess with this stuff too much here.
Put a bit of time aside to run the qualifying sim program. Try to run it before the end of FP3 if you can.
Okay, so yeah, here's where you can just kind of skip. But what is the simulation program he's talking about? I don't see that. What is this? Oh wow, okay, so they're showing actual like practice times of other racers. That's cool. Can I switch who I'm watching? Oh yeah, next camera. But I can't switch the racer, huh? Oh, he's the only one out there. Looks like track status. Alright, let's...
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top three again. Hamilton, Albon, and Max Verstappen. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action.
I'm the only dum-dum who didn't race. That's okay. It's not going to help me, guys. Okay, so now I can simulate it. But I'm still curious. Let's see, choosing simulate. Well, I guess I'll attend it in person, quote unquote, to see what happens. I want to know what he's talking about with that simulation thing. Here's my video highlights. Check those out. That's funny. That's crazy. I mean, it's even timed up where, like, not all the races are out there at the same time. That's just crazy. Very, very cool.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three, who are...
remember, we have a number of practice programs to run. It'll be very beneficial for the team if we do these. This is the only session remaining to do them, so let's get on that pronto.
Ooh.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
In the 3D headphones for the PS5, I'm actually hearing the wind. As I go faster, I can hear the wind picking up, and it just sounds different. It's incredible.
Okay, just want to remind you to keep an eye on your tyre temperatures, which you can do on the temperature panel of the MFD. We monitor carcass temperature and surface temperature, and you'll get the best performance when they're both inside a normal operating window. Surface temps tend to fluctuate faster, so try a few laps with the data open and get a feel for how to control them.
Oops, I was watching my screen there.
Didn't catch that. Say again.
That's what I was looking for. So yeah, you can actually call in and actually using your microphone just talk to your race engineer.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Man, that turn is so sharp. Ooh, that's not good.
We have to replace that front wing. Box now. tyres are falling off. We want you to pit in for repairs. Box, box, box.
Ooh.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car. Standing by. Seeing major wing damage. Box, box, box.
Losing a tire.
Tire has a puncture. Times are falling off. We want you to pit in for repairs. Box, box, box. Car repairs have set us back a little. Okay, this is the only session that we've got left to complete our acclimatization program, so let's get out there. So far, our fastest lap is a 1:38.2.
Oh wow, so you can...
If you want to know specific information,
That's cool, you can watch people race.
To the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio. Press and hold the radio button to activate the system, and you can either speak the command or select it manually from the radio screen that will appear on the multifunction display. While the radio is active, cycle through command groups with the MFD button. We're 17th in the speed trap, 188.1 miles per hour. the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. A lot of wing damage. Box for a new one.
I'm an excellent driver.
Your lap times are falling off. We want you to pit in for repairs. Box, box, box.
Oops. Well, luckily that was just the practice round. That did not go too well.
The session has drawn to a close, so let's review our top three. Leclerc, Sainz, and Esteban Ocon. And if today's practice is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
Hey, I didn't get dead last. Incidents. Whoops. Dang, he crushed me. Oh, good. I'm glad he's a good teammate. Oh, that's right. I didn't lower the... So the practice... Okay. Looks like you can lower that. Let's do our qualifying. Whoa. Car feels totally different. Oops. Well, 20th out of 22 spots. At least I think. With 11 teams.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Bottas, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Cool.
What a great day out there today. Let's talk about what happened. How's your grid penalty going to affect your strategy going into the race?
How do I say I don't know what a grid penalty is?
Why do you think you weren't as quick as your teammate today?
Because I don't know how to drive a race car.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that'll depend on what the other drivers get.
Session progress will be lost. Let's see if that's true or not. But at the very least, again, just a really cool just intro to this game. It's been out for a while. This isn't anything really new if you're searching around. And but again, we are getting a weekly race going with Sim Sports Gaming, so definitely check that out. That'll be starting this weekend. It does look like it did save our progress here a little bit, at least. But we're going to be getting that race going. Again, that information is right here, right? So if you go into leagues, you can see the league that we're starting up here, and we'll be getting a weekly race. We also have the PGA Tour golf tournaments going on, lots of other stuff, new Madden Sim league starting here in the off season, just lots of other different things, new out of the park baseball league and so on. So a lot going on there. Real quick, I just want to confirm that we did save in the right spot. Yeah, it looks like it did. It's taking us right to the race there, so that's good. So it's not right in your face there, the saving of this game, but it is doing that, it looks like, and you can back out there. So yeah, just a really, really well done game. Very, very well designed. Really, really impressed just with the polish of this game. I think is really what stands out, and it's just really, really fun. It seems just ultra realistic. Very, very pretty looking game.
So, unfortunately,
and
we've picked up some grid
yeah, picks us up right where we left off. So again, really, really cool. But I'm going to leave this one here. We'll come back to this. Again, I like to usually send out a tweet just looking for what people would want to stream. I know a lot of people are excited about NCAA today and lots of other stuff going on, but wanted to jump in and give this game a little time and just showcase it a little bit because I'm really impressed with it and excited to play some more of it. So, but I'm Mike Lowe. I'm on Twitter at MikeLowe47, and I'll see you guys next time.